Hai, salam gaspol. Selamat datang di Classroom Motogp. Kali ini kita akan menyaksikan race yang bakalan seru abis. Don't go anywhere, saksikan race-nya sampai garis finish. You check this gaspol.
Goes from the head of row 4, he's 6 as well. Today for flying Frenchman Fabio on the front row. Jack Miller, Frankie Morbidelli. Keep an eye on great race pace yesterday. Miguel Oliveira, of course, at Portugal.
Delayed a while, nowhere near as long as it is in Qatar. Start for him to still lead out front, and that could be a crucial part of the race.
Last minute changes to the hard. Can you tell us what you see happening in the race today, tyre-wise?
Viñales with the hard, with this medium rear. So we'll see, but
Piero Tommaso, it's interesting. Earns his first race in 206. It was 9 months ago today in MotoGP. It's on the way next
Standing in the commentary box, that they have all switched over to that hard rear touch.
But it looks as though we're set to go. Accident as well, but as we shoot down to turn one,
Marquez, and he's up to 4th place already, trying to find a way through on Jack Miller into turn 3.
Alongside Pecco Bagnaia, it's Zarco that he goes through into 3rd again.
Yeah, and that also cost Miller a place on Mir.
Corners into the race.
Maverick Vinales had an absolute nightmare. Vinales started early payback for yesterday. Controversially so on Jack Miller last time out in Qatar.
Oh, Rins thought about the move there. Up the inside.
He's already recovered 6 places on this opening. Vinales has only got
He dropped 5 places.
Oh, that was tight. Pecco Bagnaia trying to recover up some ground on the brakes into the first.
Touches the rear wheel there of Joan Mir.
Yeah.
Just about stays on. That's worked out well for Quat. And front wheel on rear wheel. Sometimes that can go horribly wrong.
Yeah, Marquez could easily have gone down there, couldn't he? Already today in this Grand Prix, we're not even.
And Taka Nakagami.
What on earth happened to Maverick Vinales on that 4th row? He's lost 4 seconds on that.
At the front though. Oh, the front end is moving around there for Pramac Ducati rider Joan Zarco.
How good the braking stability of the Suzuki. Placed back into turn 2. You bet he can.
Yeah, they're a couple of proper fighters, aren't they?
To Marc Marquez when he did. Here's Miller coming from a long way back into turn 5 on Fabio Quartararo. Brief trip into the top 4 for the Aussies.
Interest from Aldi.
For Suzuki to be in this position early on, 2nd and 3rd on just the 3rd.
Getting 2 men on the podium.
They're not having to use that extra grip of the rear tyre. He's got the inside line. He's down in 21st place. A disaster for the Top Gun, who's misfiring big time.
To 3rd. Good move.
We've seen what we thought would happen if as Ducati Mir and Quartararo up.
Ducati Suzuki, Yamaha Suzuki Ducati. Marquez is now fallen behind Brad Binder. So
Rins Suzuki. Bit of a twitch on the rear tyre for Mir.
Behind Brad Binder, who's made up another place then. Mir, 4th
race at this stage. Here he goes. Rins tried that on the last lap.
Rins is going to have the corner speed around turn 15, but Zarco's got the speed on the straight.
Sector 4 is where the sense, but he might get swallowed up now by the straight and that 1 kilometre straight in Losail. But there was nothing that Rins could do. Miller getting a bit of rat before they got the Repsol Honda rider. I don't know if he's feeling the ill effects of the crash that he had from yesterday. He was really badly beaten. Worried. There's no way after just 5 laps he's going to pull in with any physical problems. Is Sargo into the pits early doors?
Maverick in 20th place.
Oh, Rins again. That tyre to line, just released the brakes a little bit.
Zarco through on both of them. But Quartararo's having none of it. He stays in 2nd place.
Yeah, it's on the brakes into turn 1. It was won by Rins and Quartararo. Jack Miller crashes out of podium contention then here in Portimao.
Then it's Mir. Aleix Espargaro behind Aleix Espargaro here. Wow, that's so peculiar. What happened there?
Not an inch of his body is not without incessant pain, and he's in the point scoring places right now. On that
someone else has gone down. 2 years, I'm sure, from here in November.
A dream win 4 months ago to an absolute nightmare then for Miguel Oliveira.
Of course, factory Ducati hopes now have just pinned on his shoulders after the crash of Jack Miller. Morbidelli
have already exited stage left very early on here.
Something must be going wrong because the lap before that he was doing a
Now Vinales has got
Quartararo, Joan Mir and Joan Zarco. Mir is closing.
Job by him.
Around turn 15 we go. Fabio Quartararo looks a bit
having to work really hard, isn't he, Zarco, to try and run the pace. And 1.
Oh, Rins is really wide, and now they're side by side. Luckily, he's got the inside the heat in that hard tyre. If he gets to the front, he could have a chance to break away.
Racing is the old cliche. Brad Binder's taken by him. He's come from 15th.
What a rider Brad Binder is. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Quartararo in that crucial FP4 session. No Rins dropping down the hill into the braking zone for the first corner.
Here he
going
goes.
for it. Yeah, he's got the move done. He's got the
Front end there, Fabio Quartararo. Panic after the rough start.
He's got his head down and did those 150 from the Suzukis of Rins and Mir.
Yeah, watch the start here for Quartararo. Initially, actually, as the lights go out, not a bad start. The Yamaha, oh, there's almost contact there between him and Rins. Immediately, he's beaten by two Ducatis.
Start that he wanted. Look at that, yeah, there was definite contact there between Quartararo and Rins launching off.
He didn't panic. He knows he's got the speed underneath him, Quartararo. He was helped a little by
7, 8, 9 bike lengths on the Spaniard already. This is just the way he executed that brilliant perfection right now for Quartararo.
Yeah, across the line. This will be a third.
Strong ride actually was Jack Miller, quickest in this morning's warm-up session and in podium contention when he had a rather...
This is Marc Marquez.
Quartararo ahead of
for the South African Brad Binder, who somehow, despite having shown no pace to be
right on podium.
And by Bagnaia, as Matt just mentioned, getting into his rhythm. At the front though, the Suzuki, to whether or not the Yamaha could put in a performance similar to that once we got back into Europe.
It's been an unmitigated. His factory Yamaha teammate Fabio Quartararo leading this Portuguese Grand Prix. Corner speed with the Suzuki's no mug, is it, in terms of corner speed? Quartararo then again dips down into those high, and that's the best lap of the race. So, my colleague Franco Morbidelli, it's been a real good charge through the pack by Bagnaia.
Interesting for Aleix Espargaro, Matt. The same sort of situation as Qatar, where in the early laps,
just struggling to go at the moment. But you can to over a second for the first time.
Quartararo still.
The Suzuki so gentle on its tyres, and Alex Rins has got the finesse, hasn't he? He's not an aggressive rider. It's like be really strong in terms of time management. It's the Italian Pecco Bagnaia, who had good pace all weekend in terms of race to this position.
Here as well, Matt. He's just coming under a bit of attack.
He Rins at 39.7, so 6/10 the gap.
Well, but
Hai guys, serukan resnya. Jangan lupa like dan subscribe. Terima kasih.
Time for the doctor. Well, that was only a 10th slower.
In terms of race pace there, because yesterday he couldn't get into anywhere near the mid 140s.
They've obviously found Joan Mir's going to have his hands full hanging on to that podium finish. He's the 1st and 7. He won't want to make it 3 in a row.
It's a bit of experience.
Endurance, having plumped on the grid late on for the hard rear end. Michelin did say if the track goes over 35 degrees, then the hard rear tyre certainly...
Zarco, the championship leader, he won't be the championship leader as things stand.
Credit to Zarco, he got himself into the high 1:39.8 here on the start-finish rate. You bet he can, there's your answer. And it's a fairly emphatic one. Zarco immediately bettered with a 39.598 from Rins. 60 sections of Portimao just to try and keep that position. And Zarco blitzes on by like Mir standing still.
Alex Rins is keeping the pressure on Fabio Quartararo.
All he can do, try and force the Frenchman into Fabio
himself in prime positions from the word go. Someone's gone down.
There's been another crash, hasn't there?
It is. Valentino Rossi has crashed. What a shame for him, because he just...
At the start of this Grand Prix, we had 3 sets of brothers involved. Steve, now that's just 12 points scored in his last 9 races.
I think he'd be pleased to get out of here. Jerez is a circuit he adores, and
Franco Morbidelli's getting a hurry up as well. That's when he's going to catch out the doctor. Tips it in.
That was incredibly early, didn't it?
So he's got to be pretty careful. Maverick Vinales in the point scoring places right now, but
and through he goes. Bagnaia up into 5th place now.
Luxury position is over that crest and attack. It's just like we said, free time. You don't really have to put in much effort.
Only 3rd now.
He's got some cracking pace right now. Distance of the world champion, 39.7 on that last circuit for Joan Zarco. Flat, which when you consider his physical condition and the length of time he saw a checkered flag in the MotoGP World Championship when he was big, want to get a real good test on where he's at with that recovering right arm over the full
months and months. People have been wondering how he come back. Look at these times from the 2 guys
at the moment. Those cracks not appearing at all. Rock solid, isn't he, Quartararo? Of a second between the pair of them.
6th in Qatar, 4th 2 weeks ago. He's going up.
He's been asked some massive questions here at the weekend. The Yamaha M1 just gets that rear tyre hooked up, and he's able to pull those 5 or 6 bike lengths on Alex Rins, which just makes sure that Rins can't get close enough.
Rins,
he will be able to go on the day. You're just beaten by the marginally better man at the moment. Fabio Quartararo is in that position.
Bagnaia. Someone's gone down. Bagnaia goes up a place. Who's crashed out? Who's crashed out?
He makes blunders at the Rins, and
Down
it's
into
Rins
5.
who's caved into that pressure.
It's such an awkward corner to get right.
That mistake. Cast your minds back to Austria last year. He just slipped up the inside of Andrea Dovizioso and what very comfortable Sunday afternoon stroll in the sunshine to back-to-back wins here in Portugal.
Yeah, no surprise to see. He moved past Mir. He could have been done from pole position.
He's definitely going to be contemplating what might have been, isn't he? In turn, have his hands full trying to keep Bagnaia at bay, and he can't do it. Bagnaia clean as a whistle, and Bagnaia now up into second.
He's in 4th. This is the battle for 2nd then. Mir is now down and out of the race.
Rins blows a podium. Zarco blows a podium. He certainly blows the Fabio Quartararo after his high-speed spill yesterday, and that front went really quickly, didn't it, from underneath Johan Zarco.
Never so easy to be distracted.
That went so quick on Zarco. He wasn't expecting that, was it? It was almost late.
Nakagami is what to say about Alex Rins. I agree with you, Matt. It's happened all.
Deja vu, isn't it, for this man, Alex Rins? You've got to give it so much credit to Fabio Shinichi Sahara and Ken Kawachi, gone begging here in the Portuguese Grand Prix, and he is
remounted as well. Survival of the fittest here in Portugal.
The sharp end of this race as well, with the likes of Quartararo and Rins, himself and Joan Mir almost half a second.
Closing on Joan Mir. It's not over yet for him. Brad Binder still doing an outstanding job on the KTM.
5th place.
The perfect comes down now from the helicopter view. Is he offline at all? The front end was just moving around a touch. Wasn't quite. Chiellini again. He does this so often. I say so often. It's only his 3rd Grand Prix, but he comes on Army. Vinales is 11th.
His pain threshold off the scale.
Morbidelli can definitely smell a podium.
In the flag. They perhaps feel like Franco Morbidelli's holding on a podium here as well.
Away from the world champion, Joan Mir.
South American roots, of course, through the pack from 11th on the grid now. Pecco Bagnaia, rear tyre life right as well. And I would not want a final sector. You're not going to latch on to the back of Bagnaia over the crest and then line up a move on the brakes down the hill.
He's found himself in a position on the grid today, which I think makes the line. Yeah, Morbidelli's the faster man. Brad Binder. Now, if Binder catches this group, it's too late, sure. I think an extra 50% from somewhere, because his pace in this race is about...
They're on course for Aprilia's, only their 6th.
You say about the man out front at the moment as well, Fabio Quartararo. This is a very different young man.
Different proposition to find.
This is the battle for 2nd between almost 4 riders.
Digging deep himself here is Bagnaia, untouchable today. Top FP3, top FP4, top pole was it.
Mir, Delhi. Quartararo's live heart rate just came on screen.
Bring up F Quartararo, grad.
Yeah, same, absolutely the same. Threw Alex Rins into a crash.
On the Italian, you've got to give an enormous amount of credit to Pecco Bagnaia because he really has.
Oh, he's getting close. Does he fancy a lunge here?
The only place to end that 2nd place. Franco Morbidelli unfortunately looks like he's just going to miss out on the podium.
Ducati that will elude him. An excellent ride from Morbidelli. Binder as well in 5th. Alicia Spargaro 6th, and the returning with Bastianini.
Thank you for watching. Nantikan race selanjutnya. Salam gaspol.
That was pure clad ahead of the field.